Okay, picture this. It's 2 a.m. on a Saturday. Your phone is violently buzzing on the nightstand. It's a server fire drill. A newly deployed feature is completely crashing the system, and your team is scrambling, frantically trying to roll back a massive code release while angry customer complaints are just flooding in. It's a visceral, terrifying anxiety that, honestly, pretty much every engineer knows all too well. Well, today, this explainer is going to explore exactly how LaunchDarkly evolved to solve this specific nightmare. I mean, they transformed from a simple, kind of helpful feature toggle utility into this massive enterprise-grade blast shield that literally protects the world's biggest companies from their own code. And as we're going to see, this evolution is perfectly timed for the single most chaotic shift in modern software: artificial intelligence. All right, let's take a quick look at the roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll dive into the new AI blast radius. Then we'll see how code control tames the chaos. After that, we'll explore agent control for governing wild AI, connect the data dots, break down that premium price tag, and finally, look at the ongoing battle for control.
Okay, part one, the new AI blast radius.
So we're in the middle of a massive paradigm shift in the software industry right now. Traditional deterministic software, it's predictable. It's built on rules. Specific inputs will always give you specific outputs. It's basically like a train running on a track. It goes exactly where the rails take it. But probabilistic generative AI, that is a completely different animal. We're talking emergent behaviors, models that drift over time, and failure modes that are entirely unpredictable. Stuff you just can't test for in a sterile staging environment. It's a lot less like a train and way more like a self-driving car operating in heavy traffic. And because of that, it absolutely demands real-time dynamic guardrails to keep it from crashing.
And this massive anxiety, it isn't just theoretical. It's totally backed by the data. I mean, nearly 3/4 of teams deploying AI right now view unpredictable agent behavior as their absolute top concern. This is exactly why enterprises suddenly require a mission-critical runtime control plane. They need a reliable way to manage, observe, and correct application behavior in real time, out in the wild, without having to kick off a painfully slow deployment pipeline every single time an AI agent decides to hallucinate.
Moving right along to part two, code control and how to tame this chaos.
Now, LaunchDarkly's foundational claim to fame is the absolute decoupling of code deployment from feature releases. And to really understand how they pull this off, you have to wrap your head around the scale. Delivering this level of precise control requires mind-boggling speed. We're talking over 50 trillion, yes, trillion with a T, flag evaluations processed every single day. And they do this via a highly optimized streaming architecture. So practically speaking, when a product manager flips a switch to turn off a broken feature, that update gets pushed globally in under 200 milliseconds. It's so incredibly fast that it basically eliminates the network lag that usually plagues these types of control systems. Let's look at how this actually plays out in practice. Imagine you're rolling out a brand new checkout flow. First, you execute a progressive rollout. Maybe only expose it to like 1% of your users to be safe. Second, LaunchDarkly's guarded releases system is just constantly monitoring the situation. If it detects a telemetry spike, let's say latency suddenly shoots up or error rates breach a predefined threshold, it acts instantly. Third, it triggers an automated rollback. It's literally an instant kill switch, reverting the feature back to a safe state in milliseconds, well before a human even needs to step in. Remember that 2 a.m. scenario? Yeah, you don't even have to wake that on-call engineer up. Which brings us to part 3, agent control, or governing wild AI. This is where things get really cool. They've taken that same kill switch concept and applied it to AI. The crucial point here is that developers can use a specific SDK to abstract their AI configurations completely out of their hard-coded source code. So, think about it. If your carefully crafted prompt suddenly starts triggering bizarre hallucinations in production, you don't have to rewrite your backend code. No way. You can instantly swap your workload from, say, an Anthropic Claude model over to an OpenAI model, or just revert to an older prompt version right from a central dashboard. And because of that 200 millisecond streaming speed we just talked about, you can correct the issue within a single conversational turn. The user might not even realize something went wrong. And that introduces this really fascinating concept of adaptive triggers. You can think of this as a self-healing system for your AI. You set strict performance thresholds, and if an AI agent's accuracy drops below that line, the system autonomously fixes the issue. It actually automatically escalates the interaction to a more capable, and yeah, probably slightly more expensive model on the fly. It's a way to guarantee a secure, high-quality user experience while your autonomous AI agents are operating out there in the unpredictable wild. All right, part 4, connecting the data dots.
So, to fuel these highly automated, self-healing systems, LaunchDarkly needed flawless data, and they made two strategic moves to get it. First, they acquired Highlight.io, which brought native error monitoring and session replay directly into their user interface. This is huge. Instead of a developer just staring at a confusing text-based error log, they can instantly see a high-fidelity video playback of exactly what the user was doing right before the error happened. It is an absolute game changer for debugging because it stops developers from constantly context switching between different tools. The second move was acquiring Houseware, which fundamentally changed their approach to experimentation and data analytics. Now here's the real kicker with that Houseware acquisition. Historically, if you wanted to run A/B tests, you had to send all your sensitive customer data completely out of your system to a third-party engine. Not great for privacy. But now, LaunchDarkly pushes the statistical computation directly down into your existing data warehouse, places like Snowflake, Databricks, or Amazon Redshift. That means your highly sensitive enterprise metrics never actually have to leave your perimeter for external analysis. It inherently locks down privacy and security while still letting you run incredibly advanced dynamic experiments.
Section 5. Let's talk about the premium price tag.
Because, as you might guess, obtaining this level of enterprise psychological safety commands a pretty significant premium. Looking at their pricing tiers, you can clearly see a bifurcated structure. While the base foundation tier looks pretty affordable up front, it relies heavily on monthly active users, MAUs, for its variable billing. And if you look at independent reviewers on platforms like G2, they consistently note that for fast-growing consumer-facing businesses with millions of web users, those MAU costs can escalate super rapidly. Plus, vital security features, things like custom roles and approval workflows, are strictly gated behind the custom enterprise tiers. So that ends up creating some massive structural friction for smaller businesses that are just trying to scale securely. But on the flip side, enterprise engineers consistently argue that the massive return on investment easily justifies the hefty cost. Just look at what this user highlights. Transforming high-stakes, sweat-inducing Friday night deployments into mundane, boring non-events is basically invaluable. I mean, avoiding just one catastrophic weekend downtime event and all the stressful emergency hotfixes that inevitably follow effectively pays for a six-figure annual contract in a single day.
And finally, part 6, the battle for control.
Because LaunchDarkly proved this model is a goldmine, several major vendors are fiercely trying to eat their lunch. The biggest clash right now is between LaunchDarkly and Harness, who actually recently acquired Split.io. Harness pitches a unified, end-to-end DevOps platform, and they criticize LaunchDarkly for supposedly forcing teams into disconnected workflows. Harness also heavily pushes a privacy-by-design local evaluation model. LaunchDarkly, on the other hand, fires back arguing that its independence is exactly its superpower. They assert that as a best-of-breed runtime control plane, enterprises can plug them into any existing system without having to aggressively rip out and replace their entire historical deployment pipeline.
But beyond Harness, the market really fragments into highly specialized needs. You've got pure-play platforms like StatSig, and they prioritize deep data science and statistical rigor straight out of the box. Then you have Unleash, which provides self-hosted, air-gapped environments that are just perfectly targeted at the defense and finance sectors, industries that require strict data sovereignty. And for teams that are hyper-focused on predictable budgets and want to avoid those compounding MAU metrics we talked about earlier, well, ConfigCat and SuperShift step in there to offer highly transparent, flat-rate pricing.
So as we wrap up this explainer and you digest the landscape of tools available, it's really time to look inward. The era of predictable, deterministic software is closing. As probabilistic AI permanently rewrites the rules of production, ask yourself, when the unexpected happens, and honestly, with AI, it is always a matter of when, not if, what is your blast shield?